through a basic, very basic project that you can get started with if you just got your Cricut machine. That's what I'm going to be working off of today. And I'm not going to do a shirt or anything like that. I'm going to do a pillowcase because it's just kind of very simple, square, rectangle shape, and then we're going to put our design on it. All right, so we're going to work off of this white pillowcase. And I'm just going to put a design on there to go with my daughter's princess themed bedroom. And I just thought I'd put something kind of in there so it can just be a little more fun. So what I went ahead and did was I did a crease on the pillowcase so that when I go ahead and put my design on there, we'll be able to center it a little better. With the heat transfer vinyl, there's different finishes that you can use. They have matte, hologram, metallic finish, embossed, glitter. Today I'm going to just use a glitter finish. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my pink glitter finish for my baby girl's pillowcase. And we're going to put a tiara on there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to do it on Cricut Design Space. As I mentioned, I am using the Cricut and I have the Explore Air 2. So we're going to be using Cricut Design Space for this project. So I'm going to click on my icon on the bottom, and I am doing this on the iPad. However, it looks basically the same if you're doing it on a laptop. So let's click on New Project, and it's going to take us to our canvas. Now there are several options out there for inserting files, inserting them on your canvas for cuts. For today, we're just going to go ahead and use the loaded images that are available to us from Cricut. So I'm going to go ahead on the bottom left and click on Image, and all the Cricut available images come up. I had already did a search for tiara, so it shows all the tiaras that are available through Cricut on here. So I'm going to go ahead and select the image that I want to use, which is this one right here. It highlights it. On the bottom right, I'm going to click on Insert. And there it places the image onto our canvas. And you can select multiple images, but again, we're just going to start with a basic image and we're just going to go through this easy steps. So I'm going to change the size of the tiara and I'm going to go down to my edit. And I'm going to make mine about 10 inches. So I'm going to click on the width and I'm going to just type in the 10 dot and then it goes ahead and adjusts my height. So we have it about 10 inches wide. So I'm fine with that. I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It. I had an image on there from before, so I'm going to click Replace. And here we go. We have our canvas on what it's going to look like. So because we're working with heat transfer vinyl, we're going to always click on mirror for our image to be mirrored. Now if you're working with letters, it's going to make them look backwards because it's an image. It just kind of looks the same. But we want to mirror our image because when you put it on your fabric, you're going to do it in the opposite direction and you don't want your words to come out backwards. So we got this all set and we're going to click on Continue. And then because I have mine set up to Bluetooth, I'm going to select my Cricut Air 2. Once we selected Make It on our Cricut Design Space, we got our cutting mat and we have our HTV. Now make sure that you put the plastic shiny side down onto the adhesive part of the mat. This is the right side to go down, and this is why we're mirroring it, because when you put it on your shirt or whatever you're ironing it onto, this is going to help as a protective layer when we're ironing. So this is going to be face down onto our mat. We're going to press it down. And as you see, our Cricut splashing is waiting for us to load. But I want to make sure on my dial that I have it set as iron on, okay? So it's set, everything is looking good. I'm loading it. And the C with the little Cricut logo is going to flash. you're going to press that, and that's going to make sure that it's ready to go and start its cut. So now that our cut is done cutting, you see it flashing, we're going to unload, and now we're going to get ready to weed. Now that we have our cut on our vinyl, we're going to use a couple of tools. I use a very pointy tweezers, and if you're over the age of 40, you might need these. So what I do is with my pointy tweezers, I usually go into like a corner where I know there's no cuts at. So I'm going to start off over here, and I leave mine on the mat so that I can have something protecting it. And once you're starting off, you don't have to invest in all these expensive tools right off the bat. You want to get into the projects and know that you're going to work well with everything before spending all this money on it. So I'm going ahead, and this is what they refer to as weeding. So we're just pulling along, and as you see, this weeds greatly. It just comes right off. I love it. And you just want to be very careful. And for those of you who are making shirts or tote bags or anything that has any kind of lettering on it, you have to be very careful when you're weeding because you don't want to lose an eye. Little crafting humor. Alright, so we're just going to pull some of this off. And this one has a little bit of a more intricate design on the inside of it, but you see how this is just coming off so beautifully. And here's where we use our tweezers to make sure we get into these spots. And these pointy tweezers are great for getting in on the little details. You just poke through and pull it off. This is coming off really nicely. All right, it's looking good. Alright, so now that we got that weeded, I'm going to grab my towel. Like I said, I don't use fancy equipment. I have a towel. I put it on my table here. I use an iron. I put it at 5, no steam. And I grab my pillowcase. And we had already put in the crease. So the crease is over here. We're going to go this way. Okay, so we're seeing where we're going to locate this. This is the center because that was that seam that we created earlier, or the crease, I'm sorry. And before we go ahead and put this on there, what I do is I take my hot iron and I warm up the area just so that it can adhere a little better. Go ahead, place this down. I think that's pretty good placement. Then we're going to take our iron and just put some pressure on it. Putting some pressure on here and get that on there. And as you see, the coating, it works as a protective surface. I just keep doing this for a little bit. And it should be on there pretty well. Now I'm going to leave it for a few minutes to let it cool off. And now that we've let it cool, we're going to go ahead and pull it off, and we're going to be real slow about this because you don't want anything to come up. Remember, we're just pulling this stuff off. We're fabric. We're not waxing our legs. And look at that. So pretty. And I'm not sure if the camera is capturing that sparkle. Is amazing. Love it. So it's nice and on there, and I'm happy with it. And take a look. Our lovely little princess pillowcase. I might add some more designs later on, but for the most part, this was a very introductory project that I think that anyone can do. So I hope you liked it, and don't forget to go like and subscribe. Thank you.